Hi, Rick Lineker back again. This will be about making tables, making HTML tables. HTML tables are a really good way to line up data. Tables are organized in rows and columns. Let's go ahead and take a look at a table that I put into this HTML page ahead of time. And you can see there are 3 rows and 3 columns, all about ice cream, one of my favorite topics. And there's a border around it right there. Okay, so that's a table. This is a row going across here. This is a column, vanilla, Rocky Road, cookie dough. Let's go ahead and create a new HTML file. Do our own table. File. Drag that over to Notepad. And I'm going to suggest that you keep the boilerplate HTML code as a separate file that you can copy and paste. That way you don't have to type it in each time. For instance, I've got a file, and all I do is I copy it and I paste it in, and it's got HTML head, title, body, and so forth. Okay, so here I'm going to say this is a table, and we'll go ahead and here is a table to learn with. Okay, and we're going to talk about colors here, so this is about colors. Okay, a table starts with the table tag and ends with the table tag. Okay, so it's important you make sure you've always got those. Each row starts with TR, which stands for table row, and ends with /TR. Okay, and within each row we're going to have 3 columns, and columns are between TD tags. I'm going to say red, green, and blue. Okay, so this is a row, a single row right here that defines the entire row with 3 columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3. Let's go ahead and copy that, paste it in, edit those colors, magenta, yellow, cyan, got some more colors, black, brown, white. Let's go ahead and add one more row here. Okay, and edit the colors. Green. Let's see, lime green, orange, and we'll say lavender. Okay. Save this. Go out and render it. Notice I've got 4 rows, each of which has 3 columns. The problem is that this data all sort of runs together. Okay, so in order to differentiate it, I'm going to add a table border. And all you have to do is go out here in your table and say border equals 1. That's an attribute. Border is an attribute to the table tag. Save it. Go back out here, re-render, and we have that border around it. Easy, right? Yes. Okay, now let's go ahead and give the table a heading. So the heading actually turns out to be its own row. And we'll use the TH tag. We'll say something like, oh, 1. That's pretty original. Two, and 3. Okay, save that. Go back out here and render it. You'll notice we'll have an extra row at the very top. And notice, by using the TH tag, the text inside of those becomes bold and it becomes centered within those columns. Okay? Now, there might be some times when you need to make 2 columns become 1. And if you want to do that, there's a fairly easy way to do it. We use what's called the call span. Okay, I seem to be lost here right now. Let's see, table 2. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take magenta and yellow and run them together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. If I did this, this row would be 1 short as far as the columns go. It would have 1 too few columns. So what we have to do is tell it we're going to span 2 columns in that cell. So go back out here. You notice magenta spans 2 rows there. Now, I might want magenta to actually center. So I could say align equals center. And let me just make that look a little nicer because I do not have... Let me get rid of that word wrap. Okay, so now it's centered. And let's go ahead and render that guy again. I see magenta is centered. Okay, I can write align red here. I can say align equals red. And these are attributes for these TD tags. Let's see, which one did I write align? Oops, that was a typo. Must be because it's almost 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Okay, there we go. Red is right aligned. There are other things you can do with a table. I'm going to go ahead and get this table back to where it was because it's actually looking pretty bad here. So I'm going to go ahead and restore it back to its original state of incredibleness. One thing we can do is we can make this table row a background, give that a background color. Just refresh that guy. Okay, and sometimes it makes it just easier for people to read rows. Let's see, let's make this one oops. Gray. These alternating tables sometimes, just make it easier to read. The alternating row colors. And we'll go ahead and do that. Alternate all of these so it's easier to read. We always like the user to have a good experience. Okay. You may actually want the entire table to span the width of the HTML page. Like, for instance, you might want this to fill out the page. And if you do, you just go up here, table, word equals 1, width equals 100%. Go back out here, and it fills out 100%. You may want this one to be 50% and each one of these to be 25% of the page or of the table because maybe you have some sort of special ordering. So you can go out here, and you only need to do this to one of these. Width equals 50%. Oops, misspelled width. By the way, the quotes are optional but recommended. 25. So now the left column will be wider, as wide as both of the other columns put together. So, okay, so you can do that if you need to. And there are actually quite a few more things to do with tables that we're going to be learning as time goes by. But for right now, that's enough to get you started. Now, you should be able to read through page 78 in the book to learn all of this stuff. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you.